So let's talk about the issue that I have with the concept of the law of attraction. Now, I've watched a ton of videos and a lot of content on just the concept of visualization, law of attraction, manifestation, and in other words, being able to visualize what it is that you want and then using that as power and fuel to actually bring and harness that into your life. Now, in principle, it sounds great. In principle, it's exactly what most of us would want from our lives, right? We want to be able to see it in our mind, and then we want to be able to bring it forward towards ourselves. And so, why do I have an issue with it? Now, the reason why I think the law of attraction is BS in many regards is because most of the content that I see on this particular topic, it's all primarily focused around the visualization aspect of it. And so I see these videos and these audios, and what they talk about is, well, if you visualize that you're going to become a millionaire or be worth 100 million, then you're going to cultivate a frequency that is then going to bring that into your life. And again, it sounds good, but we have to then think about the reality, right? Which is, the reality is you're spending all of this time in essence thinking about what it is that you want to achieve, and you're spending all of this time thinking about where you want to go. But if you break down the reality of that, you achieve nothing if you don't take any action on what it is that you're actually visualizing. And this is the component that to me doesn't get enough headlines and it doesn't get enough attention. Now, in order to actually achieve anything, you need to first of all be able to cast a vision. You need to then set a plan against that vision, and you then need to take action on that plan to be able to actually bring it into life and bring it into effect. And this is the part that, again, doesn't get the airtime. And so many people are sat there and they either focus solely on prayer, or they focus solely on the fact that they're visualizing what they want, or solely on the fact that they say in their minds that they keep it in their mind. And then they're saying that they're not actually getting what it is that they're saying they want out of life, and questioning, well, why is that? And this is, to me, the fundamental issue with this, just as a general topic, is that people are completely and solely focused on the visualization aspect of it, and not actually on the part that is going to yield the result that someone is looking for. So when we think about just this as a problem, and we think about this holistically, the question becomes, well, how do you solve against this? And what can you actually do to not fall victim to this? And I must also say, before I go on, that I'm actually a big advocate of people like Bob Proctor. I'm a big advocate of a number of the, let's say, OGs of these types of concepts, because what I am a big believer of is that you can create a frequency in your life where you have a higher propensity or a higher chance to gravitate and to attract certain types of things in your life, whether that's wealth, abundance, relationships. I actually do believe in that. But I feel like that is in essence just the ignition. It's just the very beginning of the process that's actually necessary to utilize a tool of that nature to get what you're hoping to actually get out of it in your life. And so it's not enough to simply sit there and to meditate and be in your room and say, I want X, Y, or Z in my life. No, that's just the beginning. That's just part A of a series of steps that you need to take. So the first thing is, you sit there and you have an honest conversation with yourself. Go out to somewhere where you can relax, where your mind is clear, where you can recharge. I mean, where I am right now is a great example. Take a little look around. Quiet beach, just peaceful. You got a few people out there on kayaks, a few people out there relaxing, but very calm and peaceful. This is a great setup to be able to really ask yourself some questions about what it is that you want to achieve in your life, where it is that you want to go in your life, what would allow you to feel like you're stepping or taking a step closer towards some semblance of fulfillment in your life. So you need some time to actually go and ask yourself questions around this to figure that out. So this is the visualization component. What is it that I want? Why do I want it? Ask yourself why a few times. Well, why do I want that? Why is that important to me? Where is it taking me? Why am I trying to go there? And you go down that journey over and over again, and then you'll really get to figure out what it is that you want for your life, why you want it, and then you can start to think about the next step, which is you've now visualized, you now need to plan, right? You need to actually put out a set of steps that are going to help you to get closer to that end state and that vision that you have in your mind. So let's say that your vision is that you want to become a millionaire and you want to have a healthy, happy relationship with a loving partner, and that's a big part of your vision. You now need to set a plan around that. Well, what's the timeline? How are you going to go about achieving that? What are the steps that you're going to need to take on a daily basis? What are the steps that you're going to need to take on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis? What are all of the micro actions? What are the behaviors you're going to need to have? What characteristics are you going to need to exude? Who do you need to be day in, day out in order to put yourself in a situation where that vision can realistically start to manifest itself and start to come to fruition? So that's the second step. The third step, which to me is again the missing step for many people, is the concept of taking consistent action over an extended period of time. So if you think about where you are in the process now, you've set this vision in your mind. You've taken the time to now write out and document a plan of action, a set of steps that are necessary to bring that vision to life. The third component is you now taking action on those steps to bring that vision to life. Now, when you break out those three areas, if you take even one component away, the whole thing falls flat on its face, right? So if you were to take action with a plan, but you haven't taken the time to create a holistic vision of where you're trying to go and where that's going to be taking you in your life, you can't actually progress from that. Equally, if you have a vision and a willingness to take action but no plan, you're not able to progress because you're not in a set circumstance where you actually know what you need to do to bring this forward and to bring it into existence in your life. And then lastly, if you have a vision and you have a plan but no willingness or ability to take action, you're also not going to achieve from that. And so you can see that they're all reliant on each other. It's like a domino effect. And so the key component is you must wake up every single day and say, what am I doing today? Have I done what I need to do to allow me to take a step forward on my plan to bring my vision to life? If you do all of these components, to me, that's the reality of what the law of attraction actually is. It is not solely a premise based on visualization. It is based on visualizing something, setting a plan, and then taking consistent action. And if you're doing all three of those pillars, then to me, that's really what the law of attraction is actually about. And I wanted to just set the record straight because I see so much content that is solely reliant on just the first pillar. And it gives people this illusion where I've had conversations with people and they're like, well, I visualize every day or I pray every day. And I'm a believer. I'm a big believer in God. I'm a man of God. But what I make sure I do is not only have conversations with God, I take actions every single day to show God that not only am I asking this of him, I'm showing him every day that I'm willing to show up and take consistent action to bring to life exactly what it is that I'm asking of him, or exactly what it is that I'm looking to bring into my life or to cultivate into my life. So make sure that the key takeaways you take from this are to first of all set out your vision. What is it that you want to achieve? Why is it you want to achieve it? The second pillar is then setting a plan of action out around that. What steps are you going to take daily, weekly, and monthly to bring that vision to life? And then the third pillar is the actions that you're going to be taking each and every day consistently over an extended period in order to put yourself in a situation where you're actually taking steps towards that plan and towards that vision to bring it to life. I can assure you, if you're willing to do these three things and you're willing to show up consistently for 365 days, what you can achieve in that year could outperform what many people would struggle to achieve in their lifetime. Consistency, focus, discipline, again, over an extended period. Those are the key missing ingredients that many people lack that prevent them from being able to actually go out there and bring their dreams to life. So I hope that this video has been helpful. If it has, be sure to connect with me. I'll leave links in the description box below for you to be able to connect, and I look forward to seeing what you go out there and achieve.